Hi, and welcome back to M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers podcast. If you're new here, well, then welcome. My name is Jamie. I'm the owner and dyer behind m1yarns.com, and I'm coming to you today for this mostly knitting and yarn related podcast from Metro Detroit, Michigan, where I live. And today is, I don't know what day it is. It is like the week before Thanksgiving. So suddenly I'm having that like it's almost the end of the year feeling, which, if you know what I mean, it's like you're kind of looking back at the year that has been done so far, and the fact that you've only got like 5 weeks left of the year, and that feeling of, oh, what do I want to finish before the end of the year? What do I want to plan for the next year? So that's kind of where my mind is at. And we haven't had a regular episode in a while. I think the last couple episodes was like my Rhinebeck trip recap, and I think before that, I announced the brand new fiber festival that I'm planning next May in Traverse City, Michigan, called Fresh Coast Fiber Festival. So if you're looking for a new fiber festival to travel to, go check out that episode, which I think is a couple back in my history. So yeah, this is going to be like kind of more of a typical episode where I talk about what I'm knitting, what I'm planning to make, what I'm spinning, what I've just finished making, and some other yarny things in there. So let me take a quick sip of tea. This is a mug that I bought while in New York last month attending a woolen affair. This is by Golden Earth Designs, and I absolutely love this mug. I've started using it every day. So, fresh off my knitting needles, which I am wearing, is the Stockholm Slipover V-neck by PetiteKnit. And I'm a big fan of PetiteKnit. I get that people like don't understand like why her patterns are so popular, but for me, I think her patterns are well written, and I think her designs are really classic and timeless, which I'm definitely moving into that era of my knitting journey. I want to knit things that I'm 44. I want to be able to wear them in 10 years or 20 years and still feel like they fit a classic aesthetic. So anyway, I just finished this the other day. It's a little bit bigger than I might have preferred. Especially I think my armholes somehow are a little like gaping. So if I were to be kind of critical of that, I would be. I don't think it's necessary to be all that critical of it. The yarn, I'll hold up what I have left. This is all I have left of the 3 skeins. This is Dresow Family Farms Cormo CVM DK, which I bought from that farm, that family who farms. They're from Minnesota. I met her at Tip of the Mitt in Petoskey, Michigan in May. Fell in love with this beautifully spun, it's like a marled, squishy situation. And I bought 3 skeins. I plan to knit another pattern with it, but then I realized that the yarn and the pattern weren't meant for each other. So I went with this pattern after some helpful discussion with some friends who also knit. And I landed at this, and I'll stand up so you can kind of see like how I knit it on the body. After I record this, I am going to go take some FO photos. So assuming they turn out how I hope, I'll insert a few photos here if I haven't already. But this is winning Yarn Chicken, and I think this would be really nice, versatile piece. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Let's just set that there. Okay. My knitting mojo is high, but my time is low, and I feel like I want to make all these things just for me while making samples and coming up with new stuff for my yarn business. So I did come to my senses a few weeks ago and decide that while I'm planning for next year's show season and new yarns that I'm planning on bringing in, I should accomplish both through the help of sample knitters. And if you are interested in sample knitting, I am always looking for folks to help out, and we can discuss the specific arrangements of, making it mutually beneficial, so to speak. Um, but I am currently having a couple samples made, and I'm really thrilled about that because it's things that I personally love, like patterns with yarns that will become kits for the shop, but it also frees me up. So, a special shout out to my current sample knitters who are helping me focus on my personal knitting. So, where I'm at with my knitting is I looked on my Ravelry the other day and I realized that this year I have only knit one long sleeve sweater, one short sleeve, more like a tee, and this vest, and all the rest were accessories. So this might just turn out to be the year of the accessory. But then it dawned on me that I am almost done with my next sweater, which is not for me. This is a sweater for a friend's little girl, and she is a magical little girl who just, I think this, fun yarn combo, it's just so artsy. Um, totally suits her in my opinion. So I've been working on this for a few months. This is let me get my iPad and put on my glasses. Bear with me. This is, I think, called the Good Old Raglan, and it's a free pattern with a wide range of children's sizes. I'm gonna put show notes and everything I talk about below, so don't worry about that. It is called Good Old Raglan, and it's by Twisted Knitwear, who is Karen O'Hanlon Court. I'll just show you a picture of the, so you know what you're looking for on Ravelry. And I've been knitting this for a while. Just on and off. I ripped out the sleeves, decided I wanted to redo them so they were a little bit more correct in my mind. But I think I've had this on the needle a couple months, and I wanted to have this done by the girl's birthday in October, but it didn't happen. And so now it just is what it is. But yeah, so I only have basically the ribbing on this cuff to go and the one sleeve. So I could have this done in the next few days. I would love to have this done because mentally I'm like, I've moved on. You know that feeling? Yeah. Once I have that done, I will be what I'm going to call in my sample slash accessory era, which I've already started. So I wanted to make a hat kit out of 2 yarns, and I wanted to design a cable hat. And that is exactly what I've been doing. So, this was all knit like this week, and I think I can finish this pretty quickly. Let's see. This is my official try on. I don't know. I like the marled look. I know it's not for everyone, but I think I'll show you the yarns. This is the alpaca, no, not alpaca, Yak Dream yarn base. And I love this because it just adds like that halo with a light color without like really detracting from your main color. And this is obviously my main color. So you can kind of see how these two form this. So this is going to be a new hat kit in the shop soon. And that's going well. On the flip side, I wanted to make some a new sample with some bulky yarn that's been in the shop. And I'm looking and looking and looking. I can't find what I'm looking for. This is driving me crazy. Oh, it's because it's on the floor. Anyway, this yarn, this is an undyed skein. This is a bulky Michigan grown milled and um, farm yarn. And it's a Romney Cormo CVM Leicester blend. In the shop, it's called Urban Farmer. And I combined some undyed with a skein of dyed. And I was knitting this last night. This is all last night. This is an old Lion Brand mitten pattern. And the more I knit it, the more I found mistakes in the pattern. And the more I decided I didn't like the pattern at all. And I was like, I can't promote this if I'm not enjoying it. So I thought about it. In fact, I was looking at Ravelry in bed last night. And I've come to the conclusion that I have a design in my head. So we'll see if I can bang that out pretty quick. Because I feel like mitten season is upon us. So that's next. So once I finish the sweater, I've got a hat sample, a mitten sample. I have a fingerless mitts kit of another new yarn coming. That's not even on the needles yet. I haven't even dyed some of the other colorways that I want to kit up. So that's coming. But I can bang out like these small accessories pretty quick. And that is the goal because I really, really want to knit a sweater. Let's see here. What am I looking for? So as you may know, if you've been a viewer for a while, I started spinning fiber into yarn a couple years ago. And here's a bobbin of my latest spin. You can see like some parts are blended of beige and brown and some parts are not. And I blended a wool fleece with an alpaca fleece. And the wool was really short in staple length. And I'm actually finding that that's making this a very challenging spin, even though it's blended because this was my first time blending fiber actually. So this is, I'm doing a little spinning every week, but it's challenging. But all that to say, I have some other hand spun that I actually want to get on the needles. And so this begged a question of an analysis of what I've spun up so far and plied. And the other day I was sorting through some project bags, you know how you get those project bags that are like shoved in a cabinet and then you forget that they're there and what's in them and why. So I found all this, what is this? A note to myself. All this this was like some of my earliest hand spun yarn, and I didn't know what to do with it. But Andrew Mowry's new jaunty shawl pattern, I think would be perfect for this. That might be a good, little thumbnail photo. So I think that could be a fun, quick knit. So that's what I'm going to knit with that, because I would like to get that, like into some useful formation. That was some of my earliest. And then I think after that, what I spun up next was this stuff, which was some fiber I bought at Rhinebeck maybe a year or two ago, and it was dyed really poorly now that I understand a lot more about spinning. So I I held it. Yes, I plied it with gray yarn, like naturally gray undyed yarn to get that like barber pole look. And then I'm going to hold it with my hand-dyed mohair. This is the colorway Silver Fox. So I had started, this is probably like almost a year ago, I had cast on a, what is this sweater pattern called? You'll know it when you see it. It's got that like garter ridge down the shoulder. It's an old Andrea Mary pattern, I think. I had started this. And then as you can see right here, I added in a new skein and there was like a definite break. So what I realized is I need to rip it out, do helical knitting like I should have done to begin with, and enjoy this hand spun yarn. So I just shoved it in a bag and said I would, return to it at some point. But that, I would like to have that sweater done. So that might be my next cast on after these little accessories. Because I feel like now I have all this hand spun going on. It's got to be like used. It can't just, am I spinning for nothing, After that, I want to knit with my latest spun and plied yarn, which if you've been watching for a while, I've previously showed you this. This was some of my hand-dyed fibers plied with undyed natural gray fiber that I spun. So this is all hand spun, dyed and plied with undyed. So I have a ton of it. I have more. I have a lot more. Let's see what's in here. Yeah. So what I think I'm going to knit with this, I actually think this could be something. And then all the like purple pinky multicolor situation, which is 4 cakes, will be a Park and Knit has a hoodie pattern, and I would like this to be that. That could be a really fun knit. Initially, I thought I would put all 6 skeins together, but I have an odd amount, so I think that this should become something else. Like maybe a shawl or something. I think I might even have enough for a vest, so I could do another vest. But do I need like more than one grayish, brownish vest? I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know. So those are kind of my current knits and my knitting plans, and they're very like hand spun focused. And I think that's because all year with my yarn vending show season, I keep telling myself like, oh, at the end of the year when I have no shows and I have more knitting time, I'm going to focus on like stuff for me. And the hand spun is definitely stuff for me. So that's what is going on basically in my knitting universe. I don't know, let me think for a second. Do I have anything else to share? Not really, for the good of the group. So I'll just make this a quick episode. Comment below what you are knitting these days and what pattern you are most looking forward to knitting in 2026, because I'm always looking for good ideas. So thanks for joining me, and until next time, happy knitting, happy spinning, happy crochet, and I'll see you later. Bye.